Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 20 most romantic places in the world. From Montreal and the Maldives to Las Vegas and Lake Malawi, these are the most romantic places in the world according to us. As the world around us seems to grow more and more chaotic, there's always one thing we can rely on. That's right, everyone, love. You can never have enough love in your life, and, luckily, the world is straight out packed with romantic AF places that'll simultaneously steal your heart and take your breath away. We live in a dazzling corner of the universe that can't be denied. From idyllic island paradises to charming cities and vibrant villages, we've scoured the planet for the world's most romantic places. The places that make our final cut are a mixture of romantic classics and starry-eyed newcomers, a load of irrefutably romantic spots perfect for you and your special one to plan the rest of eternity together. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 20 most romantic places in the world. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 20 most romantic places in the world. Number 20. Lisbon, Portugal. Where better to end a romantic roller coaster than in one of Europe's most magnificent destinations? Lovely Lisbon is a real something for everyone destination and has become increasingly popular with couples over the years, with more and more lovers looking to envelop themselves in the city's glittering array of restaurants and attractions. Lisbon is for lovers, and lovers will find themselves wide-eyed in wonder at the gorgeous mixture of history and culture that informs the city streets. Lisbon might not be as classically gorgeous as Vienna or Amsterdam, but it's the blemishes that make it beautiful. Every love is unique, right? Number 19. Udaipur, India. Rajasthan's Udaipur is often singled out as the most romantic place in India. Royal grace seems to shine from every corner, and the combination of shimmering lakes and incredible food make it a magnet for couples looking for something special. After all, what is more special than love? With palaces, lakes, views and sunsets, Udaipur has everything you could want for a most marvelous romantic getaway. Devagar is a 45-minute drive to the north, and that place is an absolute stunner as well. Number 18. Bora Bora, French Polynesia. Several of our choices have focused on the serenity and tranquility offered up by beaches. And, well, it doesn't get any better than this. Bora Bora is as close to paradise as you're going to find. It's a stunningly isolated island in French Polynesia that will make couples feel as though the entire world has stopped, maybe even because of their love. It hasn't, obviously, but the seclusion and beauty offered by Bora Bora make it a romantic favorite all year round. Number 17. Greenland. Like Iceland, but green. Wait, no, like Iceland but icy? Yes, Greenland was so named as to attract people to go and settle there, so you can only imagine the would-be settlers' shock at the icy tundra they arrived in. If that doesn't sound too romantic, get ready to have your expectations blown out of the frozen water. Greenland is one of the most sparsely populated places on the planet and as such carries an inherent air of authenticity, the sort of atmosphere that brings feelings to the surface and puts life into perspective. It is shatteringly beautiful, constantly surprising and occasionally difficult. A lot like love, really. Number 16. Hawaii, USA. The place where tropical dreams come true. Hawaii has long been seen as a utopia among travelers, and they aren't a million miles away from the truth. After all, the Aloha State is often used as a byword for paradise, and visitors will find endless sandy stretches accentuated by some of the most verdant scenery imaginable. The whole thing is brimming with potential romantic adventures, from watching the sun rise in Haleakala to seeing it set on Kauai. Number 15. Lublana, Slovenia. Slovenia has built an entire tourist industry off being the only country with love in its name, so it stands to reason that its picture-perfect capital has a name that loosely translates as beloved. Ljubljana is an alluring collection of narrow streets and grand architecture made for strolling hand in hand, while the splendor of nearby Lake Bled almost speaks for itself. Ljubljana also does a fine line in romantic restaurants, from the skyscraper views of Nebatiknik to the old-fashioned charm of Marley and Me. Number 14. Las Vegas, USA. Okay, the tongue is firmly in the cheek here, but there must be something about Vegas that convinces couples to get married on a whim, right? It might be the excitement, it might be the devil-may-care attitude of the place, but it could also be that the bright lights bring out the naive romance in even the most hardened of hearts. The City of Lights turns into a dream once the sun goes down, and there is more for couples to do here than while a night away on slot machines and cards. If getting married seems like a good idea while in Vegas, so be it. You can deal with the consequences in the morning. Number 13. Maldives. Much like a few other places on this list, the key to understanding why the Maldives is so romantic involves nothing more than looking at it. Is there a more gorgeous spot on the planet? That comes down to preference, beauty being in the eye of the beholder and whatnot, but it's difficult to argue against the crisp white sands and cerulean seas, especially when you find yourself snorkeling in the latter and watching blood-orange sunsets from the former. Number 12. Paris, France. Is it possible to put together a selection of the world's most romantic cities without mentioning Paris? Is it even legal? We're not taking any chances, and the City of Love remains as alluring today as it has been at every stage of its history. That nickname isn't for marketing purposes, by the way. The French capital buzzes with romantic confidence that might convince you that love was first discovered here. Number 11. Lake Malawi. Tanzania calls it Lake Nyasa and Mozambique refers to it as Lago Nyasa, but the body of water known commonly as Lake Malawi is an absolute stunner, no matter what you call it. One of Africa's Great Lakes, the shores of the water are lined with gorgeous lodges that make the perfect romantic getaway. The paradise-like Nkwichi Lodge stands out. It's a secluded slice of serenity in a quite incredible part of the world. Number 10. Iceland. Iceland can feel like another world, one filled with thrilling geysers, moonlight craters, and the achingly gorgeous aurora borealis. There's nowhere quite like it, and it's that unique atmosphere that brings lovers here in search of something special. The eccentric side of capital Reykjavik is also plenty romantic in its own right. Number 9. Hoi An, Vietnam. Hoi An's famous lantern-lined streets are an idyllic spot for twilight walks and candid conversations, backed by well-preserved historic Vietnamese architecture that tells plenty of stories. The town's lantern boat rides are the thing of romantic dreams, a tremendous combination of natural delicacy and impressive confidence, while Hoi An also has one of the best cocktail scenes in the country. Number 8. Herzegovina. With the heart in its name and wine flowing from every corner, Herzegovina remains one of Europe's final hidden treasures. The use of the word hidden isn't entirely accurate, of course, as any summertime visitor to Mostar, Kravas waterfalls or Medjugorje will attest, but the passionate southern portion of Bosnia and Herzegovina is a beautiful region filled with romance-friendly adventures for lovers of all shapes and sizes. From exploring wild rivers by kayak to the shimmering allure of the Takija in Blagoje, Herzegovina is a destination defined by the heart. If the sight of Posadilj doesn't make you fall head over heels in love, you might want to check your pulse. Number 7. Niagara Falls, Canada/USA. The honeymoon capital of the world? That'll be Niagara Falls. The world's most famous waterfall is a take-your-breath-away sight if ever there was one, and isn't that one of the great experiences of love? The thrilling moments of realization that this person is the one, the sort of experience that always hits different when backed by 3,160 tons of water rushing by every single second. It might not be the most original of honeymoon spots, but who cares about originality? After all, it's the heart we're talking about. Number 6. Zanzibar, Tanzania. Zanzibar's dazzling beaches have long made it a popular honeymoon destination, but there is more to the island than the natural beauty of where sand meets sea meets sun. Traditions are important here, and that makes for a more sedate pace of life in the very best way. Zanzibar is a place where couples can step back and fall in love with what they have all over again, complete with shimmering coral reefs and all the spices the palate can handle. Number 5. Prague, Czech Republic. The city of 100 spires seems to have been built with romance in mind. Can there be a more loved-up moment than looking over the Czech capital from Letna Hill, a beer in one hand and your beloved in the other? Prague is a city of stories, a famous old wonder that has inspired authors and artists for centuries and will continue to do so as the years fly by. The old town gets most of the attention, but don't be afraid to explore further afield. Each district has its own unique feel, from the modern stylings of Karlin to the grandeur of Vinohrady and beyond. Number 4. Kyoto, Japan. Tokyo's vast urban sprawl might catch most of the crowds, but if you're looking for a Japanese city for romance, Kyoto is your best bet. Japan's historic and cultural capital, Kyoto's chock full of Buddhist temples, Shinto shrines, traditional ryokan, and stately gardens. But it's more than just history. The food is some of Japan's finest, the people are welcoming, and the scenery, in a bowl of mountains, is spectacular. This is Japan at its most romantic. It's no wonder Kyoto has become such a proposal hotspot in recent years. Number 3. Marrakesh, Morocco. Ah, Marrakesh. The colors, the smells, the sounds, the sights. This is the sort of place that reawakens the senses, a cacophony of excitement that manages to be forthright and wistful all at the same time. Marrakesh is a dizzying destination that is perfect for the passionate, but it also happens to be known as the city of luxury, with all the ornate palaces and life-giving spa and wellness options anyone could need. Number 2. Venice, Italy. You knew Venice would pop up in this list somewhere. No city on the planet encapsulates the idyllic concept of romance quite like Venetian capital. Beauty lurks around every corner here, from sunrise to sunset and beyond, with narrow canals and Renaissance architecture transporting visitors to a rose-tinted wonderland. The romantic restaurants don't hurt, while the many, many bridges seem tailor-made for proclamations of passion. All this without mentioning the inherent romance of a gondola ride? Venice is a city for lovers, old and young. Number 1. Montreal, Canada. Swoon. There's something about magical Montreal that really sets it apart from other cities in North America, something that screams romance and promises to never let go. It could be the curious combination of Canadian confidence and European elegance, or it could be the tangible history that sparkles from every corner of the city's historic heart. In truth, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as whatever it is keeps on shining. Seek out one of the many rooftop bars in the old town and soak it all in. So, which is your favorite places among the top 20 most romantic places in the world? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite places among the top 20 most romantic places in the world in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure others would too.